Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Hogwarts Legacy. I've enjoyed it so far, so let's get straight back into it and see what we can find today. I think I'd just got to the end of a day and I'd gone back to my into our main rooms. What quests have I got? Let's go find the Daedalian keys. Is there a time anywhere? Did it tell us what the time is? Because there doesn't seem to be a lot of people in. Not a lot of people around.
Revelio.
Sorry.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Always. I know I could take shortcuts, but
Revelio.
that's one. Where's the other? Where is the other? A second.
Revelio. Revelio.
They should have someone like Filch that catches you when you're out at night.
Revelio.
I hope it doesn't make anyone feel sick the way I kind of turn around all the time.
Revelio. Lumos.
I thought I found that one. 2 pillars next to a doorway and an arch. I thought I found that one.
Revelio. Lumos.
I could have sworn I found that one. So, if I do find it,
Revelio. Lumos.
Someone gets struck by a cursed broom.
who was that?
Bit of snot on your nose. Thought you'd want to know.
That's what it is. It's spooky at night, isn't it? What are you pointing at?
Revelio.
Hello, ghost. Not sure which ghost you were, but
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented blue powder.
you'll be pleased to hear that I received word from my contacts at Cambridge, who conceded that they had in fact been incorrect in the understanding of meteor showers. It seems that an Irish astronomer and a British astronomer both built upon the work done by an Italian astronomer, all muggles mind you, as far as I know, to propose calculating the position of the dust at Earth's orbit as means of connecting meteors to comets. Brilliant, really. One can only imagine what they might do with an enchanted telescope. Frustratingly, in my correspondence, I did feel that I had to continue using the pseudonym from my days as a gentleman scholar. Whilst I still find it rather exciting to have a secret identity, the reason irks me. I'm so looking forward to our trip later this year, Jantar. What an adventure we shall have. I miss you, dear sister, and hope you are well. With love, whatever. Do the teachers just stay in there?
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
God, I wish they'd quiet down a bit.
The Daedalian key. I wonder where it might lead me.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
Let's check once more. No, that's not where I'm going to go.
There's the cabinet. How do I get this key in there?
Oh, have I got to hit it as it goes over?
Got it. An old coin. Perhaps Nellie knows what it means. Revelio.
Can we talk to you, ghost? No, maybe not. Is that the hole in the stairs I get Harry Potter gets his foot stuck in? It can't be.
Revelio. Lumos.
Duncan owes his reputation to you.
Hello, Nellie. I managed to get a Daedalian key into its lock.
Brilliant! What did you find in the cabinet?
A curious token of some sort.
Looks like some sort of house token. I bet it unlocks house chests. I call them house chests. I've seen the one in Gryffindor and heard they're also in the other common rooms as well. Keep an eye out. I do hope you continue on. For so much effort, the prize must be something grand.
I should see this through and find the Hufflepuff house chest.
Ooh, is that something I'll be able to use to store my goods?
Revelio. Lumos.
Off on another adventure, are we?
Incendio. Incendio!
Ah, there's numbers on it. 1. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I wish Hogwarts would teach us how to become animated. Stock up on
Revelio.
No ping, so there's nothing to find.
You can't imagine how inconvenient travel was before I invented
Do you
this
think
loop
they'd
house.
actually bring in...
Could you remind me how the Daedalian keys work again?
When you spot or hear a flying key, you're to follow it back to its cabinet. Inserting it in the lock is the tricky part. I hope you follow some. If you open a cabinet, I'd love to know what you find, if anything.
I still have a bump on my head from herbology last week.
Well, why have you got a bump on your head from the herbology? Oh, playing some kind of stones game.
Revelio.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
Revelio.
There's one there. Stairs seem to move when you're not looking. Ooh, downstairs.
Well, I had a friend who once went to a monk. Why do we even have flies?
This must be my house chest. Seems I'll need to find more house tokens if I'm to open this. Quite a few by the look of it.
There's 16 of them.
One boy fell off his broom for a night. Sits in Daedalian is there to catch him.
Let's go back on track for the main mission.
I was going to try out for the Quidditch team this year.
I think Madame Gower's brother is a professional Quidditch player.
Oh, who's our ghost? Bishop or... yeah.
Obviously, Hogwarts is the best wizarding school in the world.
Obviously Hogwarts is the best.
What are you up to now?
Wouldn't you like to know? That's him.
Revelio.
Oh, it's the other side of the wall. Is it? No. Do some fast travelling just to get there.
Oh, hello.
Dormitory without a mug or a penny jar. What? That's highly logical.
Showing off with a marble trick.
This Daedalian keys challenge is coming along nicely.
If I'm honest, I wish I had something to vote around.
Don't like to jump around too much because you miss side missions and stuff, but we need to get some of this main mission going.
She's right. Thank you. Well, it's their own fault for saving it. And then letting it grow false.
Revelio. Lumos.
I need to go above me. Unless it is below me.
Ah, there you are.
Hello, sir. You'll be pleased to know that I worked on my defensive magic with Professor Heckard.
So I hear. She tells me you've taken rather well to your new wand. You must continue to work with her and your other professors to improve your skills. That said, I don't wish to postpone our visit to the library any longer. So, shall we proceed?
Fig! I have work for you. Come.
Headmaster, I'm with a student and my schedule
Your schedule will wait indefinitely, as will your student. I would think that after all the trouble you caused me with Osric, you'd be eager to make amends. My office, 5 minutes.
Is he going to tell me to do it by myself?
That man is exasperating. Unfortunately, our trip to the restricted section will have to wait a bit longer.
But, Professor...
We have no choice. It would be unwise to provoke our illustrious headmaster further. I shall find you when I've completed whatever toils I must endure.
Revelio.
Definitely there's some parcel talk going on. And I'd love to know what these little creatures...
Revelio. Lumos.
Anyway. Hello.
Sebastian mentioned sneaking into the restricted section. Perhaps he'll have an idea. Revelio. Sebastian, there you are.
I was hoping to see you. I was in the Three Broomsticks after the troll attack and saw what happened with Rookwood and Harlow.
Not many students have Victor Rookwood's attention. What was that all about?
I've never even met him. Perhaps he mistook me for another student.
If you say so. I won't press you now, but you will have to tell me what's going on at some point. You might need me. So, why were you looking for me?
I need to find something for Professor Fig, but it's in the restricted section of the library.
He can't get it himself?
He was called away by Black at the last moment. I suppose I could wait to get a note from him, but...
You want to show some initiative.
Precisely. You mentioned being clever enough not to get caught in the restricted section.
And I am. Meet me outside the library tonight, and tell no one.
How concerned should I be about the librarian?
Madam Scribner doesn't take kindly to clandestine activities taking place amongst her precious books. So do all that you can to avoid her.
She and I have had our entanglements, but I can hold my own against her. You may not be so lucky.
What will happen if we're caught in the restricted section?
Detention, no doubt. But a word of caution or two will help. For one, avoid Peeves, the poltergeist. Aside from wanton destruction of property, he loves nothing more than telling on the likes of us.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll meet you later.
Oh, it's suddenly night time. Yeah.
See there? That's the door we need to reach. And those annoying prefects would love nothing more than to rat on us to Scribner, so don't let them see us. Understood?
I can be sneaky. Let's go.
Hold on now. There's a spell you should know. The Disillusionment Charm. Good for getting places you're not supposed to be. Cast it and you'll appear as little more than a trick of the light, just as long as you keep your distance and stay quiet.
You mean I'll actually be able to turn invisible?
Something like that. It's not as foolproof as a cloak, but those are expensive. And spells are free. Give it a try.
I'll be quieter than a jobberknoll.
He goes and talks to him. He has his back to me, so I might better get in there, but so it's
Revelio.
The librarian's still here. Quick, behind the bookcase.
Damn! You told me the librarian would be gone by now.
I said usually, but it'll still be all right. Do you see her desk behind me?
The key is in the drawer of that desk. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'll create a distraction to draw her away. You focus on getting the key. I'll meet you outside of the restricted section.
You distract, I get the key. Understood.
I said I'd get you in, and I always keep my word. Trust me.
where's he going to make this distraction?
Is someone there? Is that you, Peeves?
That wasn't so difficult after all. Now to find that book.
Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you.
Where's a ghost?
If you're a... Must we encounter students at all hours of the day and night?
Oh, I've got to do the whole thing again.
We must remain unseen. Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you.
Did I hear wander in the restricted section at this hour?
Silent as a grave. Oh, that one's charmed to look more useful than it is. It's fooled me twice. Never judge a tome by its cover, I say. Ghost, don't let her see you. Should be in the clear now. No need for us to be skulking about.
Revelio.
Quietly now.
So what is it you've been looking for?
I'm looking for a cure to help my twin sister, Anne, so that she can return to Hogwarts. Because Merlin knows everyone else has given up.
Why do you think you'll find a cure in the restricted section? Does the Hogwarts matron have nothing?
No, we've tried everyone from Nurse Blaney to St. Mungo's. But I can research on my own. No need to concern yourself with that right now. Let's focus on what you're after. Which is what, precisely?
I'll know it when I see it.
You're being awfully cryptic.
Revelio.
Secrets of the darkest arts. I'm impressed.
Who have we here? Sebastian Summer and his new little friend. Out exploring where they shouldn't be. Naughty, naughty. You'll get caughty.
Peeves, don't
I'm
you...
going to tell. I'm going to tell. I'm going to tell.
Oh, blasted Peeves! I've got to stop him, or at least get to the librarian with a good excuse for all of this.
Wait, I don't want you getting into trouble for me.
I have a way with the faculty when it comes to disciplinary matters. Besides, I like having friends who are in my debt. Now go. Good luck in your search. Now, where has that damned poltergeist got to?
I know just the spell to repair this armor. Revelio. Repair it. Revelio. Revelio. Of course, traces of ancient magic. There must be more to it. That's it. Revelio. Where might this lead? Revelio. Revelio. Not surprising. Guards at the ready.
Oh, it was filling up. I didn't need to do it. Okay.
Revelio. Revelio. Levioso. Revelio.
Okay.
This must be the way forward, but to where? Nearly there. Best keep my wits about me. It is a book after all.
Memory we're going to see today. Whose memory? Have we seen a statue of that bloke? Can't remember. Oh, are these the founders of Hogwarts? Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Gryffindor. Is she magical? Is this her
You
years
wanted
later?
to see me? Headmistress Fitzgerald, Professor Rackham.
Miss Isadora Morganach, welcome.
Professor Rookwood, Professor Bakar.
We understand that you are adjusting well to life at Hogwarts.
I am.
I am glad. Especially in light of your unusual situation, starting as a 5th year.
As it happens, I was also admitted to Hogwarts as a 5th year. I've never heard of another like us.
Miss Morganach, when we spoke yesterday after class, you asked about the beautiful swirls you saw years ago when we visited your hamlet.
I recognized you all immediately. I cannot thank you enough for what you did.
We were glad to help.
And yes, I did see swirls of magic everywhere that day. My father insists it was my imagination running wild, but it was certainly real to me.
It was not your imagination.
Percival, Professor Rackham can see them too. But we've never known of another who could.
I don't understand. What are they?
The whispers or traces that appear when a particular form of ancient magic is wielded.
Ancient magic?
Few are capable of wielding it. Hogwarts itself is a stronghold of ancient magic.
So if I can see traces of ancient magic, does that mean I can wield it too?
With the proper training.
But let us not get ahead of ourselves, Miss Morganach.
Before I can train you to wield such magic, you must first master all that Hogwarts has to offer.
A magic this powerful can do great harm in the wrong hands. It must be wielded by a select few.
Is she going to be bad?
That you not speak to anyone about what we have discussed here today.
Is she going to be bad? Or was it gone bad?
Sebastian.
Sneaking in the restricted section again! I had thought we were through with this mischief. Clearly detentions are insufficient. I'm afraid I must take this to the headmaster.
But that being said, Peeves informs me that you didn't come alone tonight. If someone has coerced you, I would have you tell me. You're a bright boy. Don't waste this.
There was nobody else. I came alone.
Oh, Sebastian.
Don't let him take the blame.
What will your uncle say?
I shouldn't let him take the blame.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Sure, I heard one of those keys while I was wandering, sneaking around.
Revelio.
How'd you get through to there?
Revelio.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
I thought I'd heard one.
Excellent. Revelio.
All for this.
Is everything all right?
Oh, hello. Thank you for asking. I'm Cressida, by the way, and I'm afraid everything's not all right. I may be in a spot of trouble with the librarian. You see, I'm fond of creating my own charms. Thought I'd perfected my light as a feather charm to use
She
on my
sounds
library
like
books.
Moaning Myrtle.
My arms get so tired carrying them around all day. But I must have confused the Latin word for feather with bird in my incantation, because when I opened my bag just now in the library, they literally took flight.
That sounds brilliant, actually.
Thank you. Somehow I don't think the librarian will see it that way. I collect the books and remove the charm myself, except this isn't the first time one of my charms has threatened the peace of the library. Our meet told Madame Scribner they were my books flying around, so she said that if I caused her any more trouble, she'd write to my parents. Perhaps you could get them for me. There are only 5. She won't be suspicious of a new student looking around.
Why did Army tell Madame Scribner that they were your books?
Oh, to be perfectly honest, I don't think he meant any harm. I think he was impressed, bragging on my behalf. Amit spends a lot of time gazing at the stars, but he knows a good charm when he sees one.
I suppose I could help, if I have the time.
Oh, I'd very much appreciate it. One of the books is my diary. I'd rather it not fall into the wrong hands. If you could collect them and bring them to me, I can remove the charm.
I'm going to have to use Accio to get to those books. Got it. Only 4 more to go.
Handy resource indeed, Mr. Clyde. I'm most pleased to be included.
This must be Cressida's diary. I'd want this back too if I were her.
Should I be reading her diary? Yeah. Should really read that, but
Revelio.
go up the staircase.
Revelio. Lumos. Leviosa. Lumos.
Weasley must be exhausted doing her job as well as the headmaster.
Incendio. That's the last book. Now to take them back to Cressida. Lumos. Revelio. Lumos.
Big picture of a... Okay, so it's that end of the room. There we go. That was an easy one. Oh, bit dizzy after that.
Nobody likes a boring.
Hello, Cressida. I collected your books, including your diary.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you. I'll happily take the heavy lot off your hands now.
Here you are.
Well, lesson learned. I certainly won't be practicing any charms in the library again anytime soon. Now, to work out where I went wrong. Perhaps I should start brushing up on my Latin. Thank goodness some people are trustworthy. Certainly wouldn't want anyone but me reading my diary.
It's a relief to finally have an answer as to why. I need someone to lend me some potions ingredients.
Revelio.
Where did he go?
Revelio. Brilliant.
So where's the other one of these then?
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
Hello.
Professor Hecat?
Oh, I did get happy with the house token.
Revelio.
Morgans and Burks has had an increased amount of activity outside the ordinary shop hours, particularly in the wee hours of the night, with suspicious deliveries being made to the shop's back entrance. Given what we know of the shop's reputation, we are adding more auras to join those that have already been watching the shop. You are amongst the new additions. Further instructions will follow.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Off on another adventure, are we?
So I don't understand where the other... I've got a single question mark, which is if I want 10. No. 2, 13, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spider. So if I do find it, so crabby kind of bloke is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hydra is 1, 2, 3, 5 and 3 is 8, so I want 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no, hang on. So 1, 2, 3. Crabby bloke is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. So I want 3. 1, 2, 3. So I want the small Hydra, 3-headed Hydra, if I find the other.
Revelio. Revelio.
Right, I'm going to call that a night. Well, I've managed to achieve, done a few bits of quests and a bit of the main quest line and a few of the small side quests. But yeah, still enjoying it. There's some of the things are a little bit repetitive, but I don't mind that. I'm someone who likes to grind, someone who likes to do side missions in games. I like to try and do them all, but not very often I actually manage to do them all. But yeah, thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.